Hello, good evening. Good evening, Joyce.
Hi Adele, good evening.
Good evening din po sa mga nanonood sa amin. Kamusta ka ngayon?
Andito pa sa newsroom as usual. Nagsasara ng pahina at mag-aabang actually. Merong Talk to the Nation mamaya ang Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte. So, antabayanan din natin yan. I think he will discuss his conference call with Russian President Vladimir Putin over the arrival of the Malaya Sputnik
Since,
5 vaccines, yes.
okay, ngayong araw na to, nakapagtala ng mahigit 11,000 na naman, na bagong
Oo.
kaso ng COVID-19. So, bawat araw na lang. Binabantayan natin yung numbers, hoping na kung bababa man, sustain. Pero parang malayo pa tayo.
Parang medyo artificial ng konti yung pagbaba dahil may mga medyo maraming laboratories kahapon ang hindi nakapag-report. At least 12 yata ang hindi nakapag-report kahapon.
So, in the meantime, yan, mas dumami na rin ang kababayan natin na at least nakapag first dose na ng bakuna kahit paano. Pero yun na, marami pa rin nangangailangan. At saka, dito, parang na-stop yata for a few days dahil nagkulang na sa supply, no?
Yeah.
Talaga natin yung susunod na shipments para dire-diretso na sila.
Okay. Oo, sa AstraZeneca.
Ang usapan natin ngayong gabi, medyo kalimutan muna natin for a few minutes pandemya. May isang, ang kausap natin ay isang tao na meron siyang advokasya tungkol sa mga individuals na nanggagaling sa mga probinsya. Okay, nakachika na natin siya medyo ng konti kanina.
Sa backstage din niya.
Oo. At ikakwento niya ulit kung ano yung pinaghuhugutan niya at saka ano yung mga gusto niyang ma-accomplish o ma-accomplish dito sa kanyang advocacy. Paki-introduce mo na siya, Joyce.
Actually, maraming pwedeng idugtong sa pangalan niya, pero napaka-simple lang nung preferred introduction niya. So, siya ay isang PR and marketing expert mula sa paano ba natin i-describe ang kanyang probinsya?
Lugar ng mga malalambing?
Malalambing, yes. Kung saan hindi mo alam until you hear the verb kung anong mangyayari sa'yo. Mula sa Iloilo ang ating guest ngayon. May mga side comments sa private chat natin. Tayo po ay sasamahan ngayon ni Mr. Ken Lerona. Hello, Ken!
Hello, maayong gabi. Good evening, everyone. And thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Adele, for having me this evening. Siguro, maraming mga makaka-relate sa usapan natin ngayon because a lot of people actually are coming from the province and a lot of us have experiences na relatable talaga together.
Mag-umpis tayo sa personal experience mo. Nakwento mo kanina na lumaki ka sa probinsya at medyo meron ka mga struggles, di ba, sa iyong paglaki at hanggang makarating ka na dito sa Manila. Pwedeng pakwento naman ng konti.
So, actually, being someone who grew up in the province, lumaki talaga ako sa isang bayan which is called Alimujan. This is 24 kilometers away from the city center. So, medyo nasa bulubunduking lugar kami. The challenge really is, during our time, nung lumalaki ako, is kapag sinabi mong taga-probinsya, taga-bayan, o taga-bundok, medyo sinasabi natin na inferior, no? So, ito yung naging challenge ko nung unang when I graduated, when I left school, and I started to venture out in the real world, especially when I got here sa Metro Manila, because when I started, parang sanong-sano talaga ako yung tinatawag nilang bagong salta, di ba? Parang ganun ako. And the challenge really then was to prove yourself and to make sure that people really feel na may may key ka rin, may bigat din may kakayahan ka din sa pag-deliver ng tasks na pwede nating ma-deliver or expected from us, even if we're coming from the province. So, yun yung naging challenge ko, doon ako nanggaling. And also to share with everyone na yun nga, sabi ko, laking bayan ako, laking bulubunduking lugar. I also grew up in a place na nasa public market ako lumaki. So, naramdaman ko talaga, coming from that side ng ating society na market vendor ka, I went to public schools all my life. So, yun yung nakita kong mundo bago ako pumunta dito sa Metro Manila upang makipagsapalaran at bunong braso sa mga peers na nanggaling sa bigger schools or lumaki na dito sa city. So yun yung pinanggagalingan ko, Joyce. And Ada.
Can you say, pagpunta mo dito sa Manila, you mean after college na ito? Or dito ka ba nag-aral ng kolehiyo? Saan nag-start yung adjustment mo?
All my life, sa education ko, dun talaga ako sa Iloilo. So from kindergarten to elementary to high school, even to college, I only went to private school nung kindergarten ako, but all throughout elementary, high school, and college, I went to public schools in the province. So, yung perception during the time was kapag yun nga, public school ka, galing kang probinsya, medyo inferior ka dahil ang perception then was hindi ka makakapag-compete with your peers na nanggaling sa city or sa private schools.
Yung pagpunta mo ba sa Manila, was it a personal choice na, pupunta ako nung papatunayan ko na hindi pala ganyan dapat? What were the circumstances na nag-move sa'yo sa pagpunta dito?
Well, when I went here sa Manila, kasi it was a choice. Kasi during my time, this was in the early 2000s, medyo ang sinasabi natin na kapag nasa city ka, kulang yung opportunities mo, di ba? Sorry, kung nasa probinsya ka, kulang yung opportunities mo. And as fresh graduate then, yung pinaka be-all and end-all ng tugatog ng career mo during the time was kapag nagtatrabaho ka sa Manila or nagtatrabaho ka sa abroad. So my choice was, okay, I'll go to Manila so that I will experience the kind of working environment dito, ano yung mararating ko dito. So, ito yung literal na sinasabi nila, nakipagsapalaran dito sa Maynila.
At mukhang sinwerte ka naman. Ano yung mga ups and downs na naranasan pagdating mo dito?
Yun. Magandang ikwento yun. Kasi when I started working dito sa Manila, actually, the area na inassign sa akin, coming ako sa Visayas, di ba? The area that was assigned to me was to handle Visayas and Mindanao. So, I had a perspective na taga-probinsya ako, kausap ka rin yung mga taga-Visayas at taga-Mindanao, pero dito ako based. So, medyo lumawak yung pangunawa ko. My view of Visayas and Mindanao, na kung saan ako nanggaling, nadagdagan pa yung perspective ng dito sa Manila. Hindi yung parang, dahil dito ako sa Manila nagtatrabaho, parang ang tingin ko doon sa mga kapatid natin sa Visayas and Mindanao, iba na or inferior na. The advantage is that being someone na doon talaga ako nanggaling, mas naiintindihan ko at na-voice out ko yung perspective ng isang bisdak, ng isang Ilonggo, ng isang someone from the province dito sa conversation sa national stage. Yung mga challenge talaga then was, dahil Bisaya ka or dahil taga-probinsya ka, kaya mo bang mapatunayan to? Dahil taga-public school ka, doon ka lumaki, may kakayahan ka. Ito yung naging challenge ko during that time. But ultimately, nalagpasan din naman yan.
Ken, sa case mo ba, naramdaman mo rin, kasi parang very common yung term na Imperial Manila eh. Ganun din ba yung naging pakiramdam mo nung una? Na parang everything
yes.
NCR, laging sidelines ang regions natin.
During that time, totoo yun. That's why parang as a personal I don't want to use the word revenge, pero parang gusto kong patunayan sa inyong mga taga Maynila na kaya namin taga probinsya. Kaya pupunta ako dito at sabi mo kanina sa backstage, makipagbunong braso ako sa inyo to prove that kaming mga taga probinsya, may kakayahan din kami to, make a difference and to make an impact sa ating businesses or national conversation.
Ken, yung mga bahagi ng advocacy mo, yung going around various places, di ba, bago mag-pandemya, nakikipag-usap ka sa mga estudyante, sa mga kabataan, ano ang mga insights nila na nagagather mo ngayong, syempre, naramdaman mo yan many years ago nung ikaw pa yung bata. Ngayon na parang marami na rin naman mga nagbago sa teknolohiya, sa pag-iisip. Kamusta yung pagkakaiba ng mindset ng kabataan sa probinsya noon at ngayon?
Baka may konting lang. Mahina siguro yung audio.
Sorry, may technical challenge yung katami. Yeah.
Oo.
Ayan, naririnig mo na ako? Ken? Hindi pa rin.
Yes, ayun. Oo,
Ayan.
better now.
May lag lang tayo ng konti.
May lag, oo. Kasi nabanggit mo na bahagi ng advokasya mo yung nagpupunta ka sa iba-ibang lugar sa Pilipinas dati bago mag-pandemic. Ken? Nandiyan ka pa ba? Nawala yata siya.
Oo nga. I think meron siyang signal problem. Antayin lang po nating makabalik si Ken, ano? Pero actually, very interesting kasi napaka-relatable ng kwento niya, di ba? Ikaw, Adele, saan ang probinsya mo? May probinsya ka ba?
Dito lang talaga ako.
Talaga?
Oo.
Ang pamilya ko ay Cebu and Iligan. So,
at nakakabisita ka every now and then.
Oo. Saka very relatable yung kwento niya. Uy, Ken, ayan na si Ken. Ibalik natin yung tanong sa kanya.
Ano ba yung tanong ko? Ayun. Ayun, malinaw na ba? Naririnig mo ako, Ken?
Yes, better na.
Diba, bahagi ng advocacy mo yung nag-iikot ka sa various campuses, various cities across the country dati bago mag-pandemic. Gusto kong malaman yung may pagbabago ba sa mindset o sa attitude ng kabataan yung panahon mo at ngayon na mas moderno na marami na rin nagbago.
Yes, marami nang nagbago. Kasi during our time, di ba, sabi ko kanina, people were feeling na inferior kami kasi galing kaming probinsya. What is nice these days is mas empowered na yung mga kabataan. They can already speak up their minds at mas updated na sila. Ang sabi ko nga kanina na parang in the past, yung mga sources of information lang namin were TV or dyaryo or radyo, medyo delayed pumasok yung mga information sa amin. Pero these days, the great equalizer actually sa countryside ay ang internet or yung digital age, no? Because most of the people in the countryside, most of the young people in the countryside, mas mabilis na yung pagdating ng information sa kanila. So mas nagiging confident na sila kasi yung mga information na nakukuha nila or education na nakukuha nila is at par na with the information na nakukuha din ng kanilang mga peers dito sa NCR or sa key cities. Ang kagandahan nito ay dati, di ba, sabi ko, ang be-all and end-all namin, makapunta ng Maynila para makapagtrabaho, mag-succeed sa career. Ngayon, the young people are in fact happy with where they are. They thrive where they are. I can see a lot of young people in Davao succeeding in their own careers or succeeding in their own businesses in Davao or in Iloilo or in Cebu or even in North Luzon. So sa pag-iikot ko actually, I realized na parang hindi pala be all and end all ang Metro Manila ng progress or if you want to make a mark in your career, even just by staying put in the provinces wherever you are at kaya mong mapatakbo ang negosyo, kaya mong mag-make a difference whether it's a non-profit or a profit organization, kayang-kaya ng mga kabataan natin ngayon. And I'm so glad and I'm so happy to see all of these things na nagbago na in this generation.
Naging great equalizer din ng technology, ano?
Correct. Oo.
Although I think we still have to point out na in terms of, say for example, internal revenue allotment, kulang pa rin talaga yung bumababa sa probinsya. At malaking bagay yun kasi may impact siya dun sa kalidad ng edukasyon, sa services available sa mga tao, diba? All those things that promote, that empower the young people sa provinces natin. Pero interesting, Ken, yung, yung punto de vista mo na hindi na nila kailangang umalis ng probinsya actually. Diba, ngayon may ganun silang pakiramdam na we can be successful where we are now. Hindi na kailangan, kasi dati tama kayo, dati ang mindset parang go to Manila. Doon ka mag-succeed.
Tama yan. I mean, just
Sige,
this
go.
afternoon, I had a meeting with someone from, well, today actually in the morning I had a training program with some friends in Cebu. Sobrang galing na mga sales and marketing people doon na nakausap ko this morning. In the afternoon, I was talking to someone who owns a startup and is putting up a really good service for the people in the countryside as well, using technology without leaving Cebu, ha? And ganun yung scenario na ngayon. Hindi na kagaya ng dati na parang for you to be identified or for you to be, to be recognized, dapat nandito ka sa Manila. Ngayon, by just staying put in your province, by just staying put wherever you are and making a difference, kayang-kaya mo nang gawin. And a lot of our young people are actually doing that these days.
Nabanggit mo, nung panahon mo, ang trend ay yung mga nasa probinsya, ginugusto nilang magpunta sa Manila. Ngayon ba meron kang na-observe na, assuming we are nasa normal times tayo, meron ka bang na-observe na nandito, tapos naisip nila, babalik sila sa roots nila, tapos doon nila itutuloy yung kung ano man yung naumpisahan nila?
Ako, actually, gusto ko nang bumalik ng probinsya. And a lot of my friends actually, even in the industry, in marketing and PR, and in the business sector, a lot of my friends really want to go back to their roots. Or kahit yung mga dito talaga pinanganak at lumaki sa Manila, they're looking at investing somewhere in the province. Kahit man lang Cavite or Laguna yan, or in Visayas and Mindanao, they feel like, I mean, we've proven, especially in some sectors, na pwede naman tayong magpatuloy sa ating trabaho, mag-thrive, even if we're outside of NCR, and we can still contribute economically and even professionally saan man tayo, because again of the technology that we're having right now. And what is nice is that I've met a lot of people na here in the industry, na fellow Ilonggos or fellow Visayans. The drive really is because they've already gained experience dito sa Metro Manila, they've made their mark. The drive is to go back home and also empower the people doon sa probinsya so that whatever knowledge that they've earned, the experience in their careers or their practices here, kaya ring ma-replicate ng mga kabataan doon sa probinsya. And that's what's beautiful professionals helping young professionals and empowering them para hindi na lahat ng decision making or lahat ng perspective dito manggagaling sa Imperial Manila. Yun.
So ito na ang we can say that this is Balik Probinsya 2.0. Panibagong version na to ng Balik Probinsya na hindi na lang dahil pagod ka na mag-retire ka doon. Pero this one, you're really bringing skills, knowledge, and learning pabalik kung saan ka nang galing.
That is correct. Napag-usapan niya namin ni Adele kanina na parang unlike in the past na when you talk about probinsya, parang nasa parang, tapos nag-aararo yung these days, we have a lot of highly urbanized cities across the country. So, talk about Iloilo, for example, is highly urbanized. I mean, you barely feel na nasa probinsya ka when you're there. In Cebu, in Davao, or even in the north, diba? So, wala nang pinagkaiba.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Adele. Sorry.
Gusto ko lang, curious lang ako kung paano niyo nahahanapan ng oras itong advocacy niyo na this is an individual effort. What sustains your interest and your commitment? languages?
Gumising na maaga. No, because I've been doing this advocacy for I think more than 5 years already while I was doing my day job. Ang maganda nito is even if I've had a day job, nagagawa ko pa rin siya. Kasi, I mean, this is passion for me and this is extracurricular. So I can wake up early in the morning, do some things for my day job, and then also maybe dabble doing all of these extracurricular activities like giving talks and engaging with young people napagsasabay ko. And what's beautiful here is that mas marami ako napipick up na perspective coming from the young people outside of Metro Manila. Mas naiintindihan ko yung merkado, mas naiintindihan ko yung generation nila, nakaka-relate ako sa language nila. At nadadala ko to sa day job ko. So it actually gives me a lot of benefits while I also share what I know to these young people. Yun. Nakakabata rin siya actually when you surround yourself with young people.
Actually, Ken, yung tanong ko sana kanina, medyo related din dun sa tanong ni Adele. But I was wondering how a mindset na galing from someone who came from the province, how did that help you as a marketer, as someone in the PR industry?
A lot actually. Kasi if you look at the country, di ba? Yung merkado natin hindi lang Metro Manila. Of course, even if a lot of economic activities are happening here in the NCR, mas malawak ang merkado outside of NCR din. And the perspective na galing akong probinsya, yung language na it's not just the Manila language that I speak. I also speak the language of people in the south, in Visayas, in Mindanao, or even up north. I feel their sentiments. I have the first-hand insight kung ano yung nararamdaman ng merkado coming from the province. So that's the beauty that I bring to the table, no? Yung perspective na kapag galing ka sa probinsya, how do you perceive brands coming from Metro Manila? Or how do you perceive messaging coming from Metro Manila? Or messaging that's designed by Metro Manilans to people in the province? Like for example, case in point, a lot of times people would think na kapag sinabi mong Bisaya, lahat Cebuano speaking. That is not always the case. What about the Hiligaynon speaking Visayans, di ba? The Waray, di ba? So, marami yun. So, you have to understand the sensibilities. And what's nice is that me coming from the province, mas naiintindihan ko yung perspective na yun at nasi-share ko yun sa peers ko in the industry. So, yun talaga yung pinaglalaban ko is that let's not look at the provincial market as homogeneous na market. It's really diverse, maraming uniqueness, maraming qualities na iba-iba, and we have to be very sensitive with that. That's why we have to amplify the provinciano voice on the national stage.
Ano kaya ang role, Ken, ng ating mga local government executives dito sa gusto nating baguhin or i-achieve?
Actually, what is beautiful now is that a lot of our local government executives are very, very supportive of their local talents. Case in point, in Iloilo, based on my experience, napaka-supportive ng LGU doon in terms of developing the talents, not just in one aspect, education or technology. Multifaceted yung suporta ng LGU sa mga young people doon. I mean, a lot of organizations and support groups are sprouting. For example, literature, visual arts, even biking, and a lot more. So, what I see firsthand sa local executives natin in the provinces, suportado nila ang local talents nila. The same is true in Davao, in Cagayan de Oro, in General Santos, or even in Zamboanga, right? So there's really a good set of activities na sinusuportahan ng ating gobyerno, lokal na pamahalaan, para ma-improve yung capabilities at ma-empower ang ating mga kabataan. And that's actually one conversation that we need to amplify as well. Especially for people in Metro Manila, we need to understand that, our peers back in the provinces, back in the countryside, are now more equipped to be competitive, not just nationally, but also globally. sobrang dami ng skilled na mga kabataan ngayon.
I wonder, would it be a safe or correct statement to say na no, I only raise this question because our president now is the first actually president na coming from outside Metro Manila.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, even if for example GMA was identified sa Pampanga, talaga namang
Mm-hmm.
dito sa Metro Manila siya. May impact ba 'yon? I'm just curious. May epekto ba yung ganong klaseng para someone from Mindanao nanalo and then
Mm-hmm.
became president?
Well, yes, it has. I mean, you see, diba, a lot of the president's current supporters are coming from the countryside. And to be honest with you, without any politics, without any politics,
Yeah.
to be very honest with you, I feel like the president is using the language of the people in the countryside. That is why he's very effective in terms of relating with the audience. Ito yung power niya. Kaya maraming naniniwala, nagmamahal sa kanya because the image is taga-probinsya ako, I speak the language, and I feel the sentiment of the people down in the countryside. So I think that's the beauty of that. And to your question na may impact ba ito? Yes, it has an impact. It has an impact. Kasi, I mean, historically naman talaga, napaka clannish natin, regionalistic natin. And there are, of course, parang negative side to that. But if we really harness that behavior natin, mas siguro makakapag-create tayo ng positive impact because of that tendency natin bilang mga Pilipino.
Na banggit din kanina na one of your activities also is tumutulong ka sa personal branding. No? Pwede bang branding yung Promdi? I mean, not in
Tingnan mo,
the
napaka-Promdi ko siya.
Oy, ano ba yan?
Ito yan.
Balagtasan ba yan?
1992, nakita ko sa picture. So, let's hulaan natin kung ilang taon na si Ken.
Ang baby mo pa dyan, Ken.
Grade 6 yata ako dyan.
Ayun. So, ang prom, di ba, ay isang particular, pwede mo ba siyang tingnan bilang isang brand na maaaring makatulong pa o makaboost sa isang personalidad?
Yes, oo. Sabi ko nga, dati, di ba, yung inferior, di ba? Or sometimes, yung word na Promdi, napaka-derogatory niya nung 90s, di ba? Ayan, pag-aalaman tuloy yung edad ko. Nung 90s, ang Promdi, or even to the early 2000s, ang Promdi napaka-derogatory. Pag sinabing Promdi ka, jologs, or, di ba? I think Jeff Rocks ba yung term noong unang panahon? But, ako, may own advocacy is to baligtarin yan na kapag sinabing Promdi, it's not necessarily inferior. It's not necessarily jologs or backward. Ako nga, I identify myself as a Promdi, and I'm so proud being a Promdi, coming from Visayas and relating myself with people in Mindanao because nakikita natin na yung advantage na mas naiintindihan ko yung language nila, mas nakaka-relate ako sa kanila, and I know that I can help empower the people down the countryside by being Promdi. It's now positive, di ba? Wala akong dapat ikahiya bilang probinsyano. And in fact, in my line of work, in my profession, mas gusto ko pa nga na ma-uplift yung image ng being Promdi into something that, that sounds empowering, that gives people this perception and impression na kapag taga-probinsya yan, magaling yan. Kapag taga-probinsya yan, mabait yan. Kapag taga-probinsya yan, maaasahan yan. Diba? That kind of brand that we can build for our fellow provincianos, wherever you are, if you're coming from Mindanao, from Visayas, or even the rest of Luzon. So, yun.
Pero, ba yung personal branding? At
Mm-mm.
kailangan ba talaga siya? I mean, one step back lang.
Mm-mm.
I know nag-delve ka na dun sa branding ng pagiging probinsyano. Pero as something na
Mm-mm.
pwede makatulong sa'yo bilang uh, empleyado or bilang someone na
Mm-mm.
pataas ang career growth, importante ba talaga ang personal branding and papaano siya? Hindi ba siya
Mm-mm.
parang exercise na parang pinapasaya mo lang yung sarili mo or alam mo yun? Medyo
Oo.
narcissistic, hindi naman
Pretending to be
gano'n.
who you're
Mm-mm.
not.
Oo nga eh.
Mm-mm. And that's the misperception actually ng personal branding. Kasi pag sinabi nila na nagpo-personal branding ako, napaka-fake nun. Nagpapakitang tao lang ako kasi gusto kong magpa-impress. To be very honest, that is the wrong wrong perception ng personal branding. A personal branding is being authentic. No? Kung ano yung totoong ikaw. At ito yung the best side of you. Ito yung ilalabas mo sa brand mo. Bakit importante siya? Bakit mahalaga siya? Kasi yung personal branding mo, ito yung naglalabas ng reputation mo. Kung sino ka ba? Paano ka ba bilang person, bilang product? Paano nga ba, for example, makakatulong ang personal branding sa'yo as a professional? If you're looking for a job or if you're building a business, napakahalaga ang reputation mo, napakahalaga ang personal brand mo. Kasi ito yung pinag-uusapan ng mga tao bago ka pa pumasok ng kwarto. Before you get into the room, your reputation precedes you. So yung perception ng mga tao, kung maasahan ka, magaling ka ba, or ano yung skill set na madadala mo sa conversation or sa business, ito yung nandyan sa personal brand mo mismo. And syempre, ang personal brand mo, ito yung expectation din ng mga tao kung ano yung madadeliver mo para sa kanila. And by being authentic, by delivering what you promise as a brand, ganun at ganun din ang ine-expect ng mga tao sa'yo. It actually opens the doors for you. It builds um it builds the bridge of opportunities para sa iyo kapag magaling ka or kapag maayos ang pagka-brand mo ng sarili mo. And personal branding, uulitin ko lang, is not being fake. It's being authentic. It's presenting the best side of you para ito yung magiging door opener mo kapag nagkaroon ka ng conversation for your job search, for your businesses, or even for your social interactions. So, yun ang personal brand. Hindi siya masama. And when you do it, you have to do it authentically. Authentically.
Sorry, may isa pa akong tanong. Kailangan ba nasa mataas na posisyon ka na for you to even consider na kailangan ko ng personal branding?
I know, dapat nagsisimula ka habang nagsisimula ka pa lang. Kasi ang branding is not just, artificial na parang, ito yung gagawin kong brand para sa sarili ko. Kanyari, sasabihin ko na, I'm an expert in a certain field. You can say that you're an expert in a certain field kung hindi mo siya pinagtrabahuan for long years, di ba? So you have to do that habang nagsisimula ka pa lang sa iyong karera. Hindi pwedeng sabihin mo na, ay, eto ako, pero wala ka palang backing ng experience or wala ka palang backing ng claim mo na kaya mong gawin ito or dito ka magaling. And personal branding, really choosing a personal brand is finding where you will be able to do well and do good. At kapag, kunyari, personal branding, kung inisip, kunyari, your name is Jason. Pag sinabing Jason, saan ba magaling si Jason? Ano bang produkto or anong value ang madadala ni Jason sa conversation? So, ganun ang personal branding din. Ano yung mako-connect nila sa brand mo at sa value na mabibigay mo sa kanila bilang stakeholders mo or bilang employers mo or business partners mo. So, you don't need to be up there bago mo simulan ng personal branding. Ngayon pa lang, kahit estudyante ka pa lang, simulan mo na ang personal branding project mo.
Okay. So,
Ikaw, Adele, ano ang personal brand mo?
hindi ko
Naisip
alam.
mo ba? Ako
Ano
din.
lang? Ano lang dyan?
Wala lang, taga-sulat. Kung saan.
Bawat isa sa atin mayroon ng personal branding. We're not just conscious of it. So,
Hindi lang
parang,
natin siya tinatawag as personal branding talaga.
yung mga aura mo, effective, parang gano'n. Yun na rin yung personal branding. Yun, so,
Totoo.
makabuluhan itong usapan natin, itong nakaraang hour. Salamat, Ken, sa pagpapaunlak mo sa invitation. Meron ka bang gustong tuling mensahe, lalo na sa kabataan na nandun sa mga probinsya?
And given our context now, na meron tayong pandemic and it's taking a toll on everyone's mental health, job opportunities, ang hirap-hirap.
Again, thank you so much, Adele and Joyce, for this opportunity para makausap kayo, the Newsroom Titas. Sobrang nag-enjoy ako. And thank you also to Miss Annie for facilitating this conversation. Maraming salamat po. Sa ating po mga kababayan, lalo na sa mga kabataan sa probinsya, huwag po nating isipin na tayo ay inferior or mas magaling yung ibang mga peers natin sa city centers. Kahit po na nasa probinsya tayo, at hindi po yan kahit ngayon na nasa probinsya tayo, let's take this opportunity really to amplify our voice given the education that we have, the technology that we have. Mas malaki po ang kakayahan natin para makapag-make tayo ng difference. And with all the resources na meron tayo ngayon sa probinsya, ang importante ay mapagsilbihan natin ang kapwa natin taga-probinsya, ang kapwa natin Pilipino, at hindi lamang sa, sa ating maliit na lugar o sa ating mga sarili. And I also have a message to our friends here in the city centers in Metro Manila, and also a message to our decision makers, our peers in the business. We have to make sure that we establish a platform for our young people to really have a voice and to be heard, their perspective to be heard in the way we make our decisions or design our business or even communicate with them, especially in marketing and advertising. It's really important for us to remember that we're serving the market across the Philippines and not just here in Metro Manila. And when we talk about serving the market in the provinces, we have to realize also that we're talking to Cebuanos, to Ilonggos, to Davaoenos, to Cagayanos, Chavacanos. Hindi po sila homogeneous, so we have to be very, very sensitive to that. Or even to Ilocanos, Kapampangans, and the rest of the people here in Luzon. We have to be very, very sensitive with that. And for us to succeed in amplifying the Provinciano voice on the national stage, we have to be inclusive. We have to open the doors to speak to more people, to invite more people from the provinces to join our organizations and get their perspectives and get the most out of it.
Okay. Dadagdag ka pa, Joyce?
I'd really like to thank Ken. I think napaka-inspiring nung message niya. Just very quickly, it reminds me of my mom. Kasi ang nanay ko ay laking probinsya. Pumunta siya dito, nakapasar siya sa UP, hindi niya kinaya. Kasi walang sapat na stipend. Mas malaki yung stipend dun sa school na pinuntahan niya. Pero typical probinsyano, di ba, na ang iniisip mo lagi, paano yung nakapasa ka nga dito, pero paano yung pang araw-araw mong gastusin. Alam mo, Adele, ang pinaka-naalala ko na kwento ng mami ko, kaya siya na hintakutan na tumuloy sa UP bilang isang probinsyana rin, kasi nakita raw niya yung mga kaklase niya, may malaking box ng biskwit. Alam mo yung typical box, yung steel, not steel, pero tin can na biskwit ang laman. Tapos siya daw wala. So, ganun siya nag-start. Ganun na hirap talaga from the province papunta rito sa Manila. So, yun, nakaka-inspire. Sana marami pong pa-push pa lalo yung mga kabataan natin na hindi dapat hadlang, hindi handicap yung pagiging probinsyano. And you don't even have to go here and come here sa Manila to make a difference. Yun ang nakakatuwa.
You can thrive where you are.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with that, salamat uli, Ken, at salamat sa lahat ng mga nanood ngayong gabi. Salamat, Joyce. Mag-ingat po tayong lahat.
Ingat. Thank you, Ayo. Salamat.
Thank you. Ayong gabi.
Ayong gabi.